In the second question, both numerator and denominator have two terms. We can't factorise the numerator, x and 1 have no factors in common, but 5x and 5 do. We can write this as 5 brackets x plus 1. X plus 1 now appears in the numerator and the denominator, so we can eliminate it, leaving us with 5 in the denominator. We can't leave this blank, however, and we can't put a 0. So what we need to do is think about this as 1 times 1 plus x. What's remaining? 1. Similarly here, we cannot factorise the numerator. The denominator has a common factor of 4. Remember, we think about this as 1 times x minus 2. We can remove the common factor of x minus 2, giving us a final fraction of 1/4. Our third question has a quadratic denominator. Let's look at the numerator first. 5 is their factor that they have in common, x plus 8. And if we look here, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to make 64 and add to make 16. That's going to be 8 and 8. X plus 8, x plus 8. This is what we call a perfect square because the bracket is repeated. You'll need to know that later. X plus 8 appears in numerator and denominator. 5 remains for the top and x plus 8 remains for the bottom. Factorise our top. 2, x minus 2. How do I make 8? I can do 1 times 8. I can do 2 times 4. Which of those combine to make plus 2? I'm going to do 4, take away 2, and that gives me 2, and I want 2 for the 2x here. X is needed in both brackets to make x squared. My 4 is positive, so I add 4 in the bracket, and my 2 is negative, so I subtract 2 in the bracket. Both numerator and denominator have got x minus 2. Remove that, and we end up with 2 over x plus 4. Repeating the process here, 6 is made by 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. We want to get 1x, remember that means 1x. And how do we use those numbers to do that? We're going to use 2 and 3. Specifically, we're going to do 3 minus 2. So, our x in both brackets to make x squared. Our 3 is positive, and our 2 is negative. 12 is made by 1 times 12, 2 times 6, or 3 times 4. 3 and 4 added together make 7. Because we're adding them, they're both positive. Both brackets are positive. X plus 3, x plus 3. The numerator is x minus 2. The denominator, x plus 4. Finally, we've got very similar numbers here, only instead of plus 1x, it's minus 1x. We're going to use 3 and 2 again, but instead of doing 3 minus 2, we're going to do 2 minus 3. That gives me minus 1. Here, the 2 is positive, x plus 2, and the 3 is negative, x minus 3. Another perfect square is coming up here, because we times 3 by 3 to get 6, and we add minus 3 and minus 3 to get negative 6. X minus 3, x minus 3. Minus 3, x minus 3, cancel them both out, we end up with x plus 2 over x minus 3.